know if banning Ahri away from Care is quite the same as banning Zeri. I don't think those bans are quite equal in power. LWX now having maybe just the strongest champion in the entire game.
Yep, apart from Poppy, who I feel like will be picked up by WWE here, because Poppy is disgusting. Especially in the hands of really, really good players. Sivir has started to creep up as an answer into the Zeri though, so not surprised to see that taken for Xing here. And not going to take the Poppy. Now that is a big surprise for me.
Yeah, Poppy's still available. I guess just valuing the Sivir Yuumi, right? Especially against the Zeri, you're going to need an incredibly strong bottom lane, but also wanted to deny the Yuumi. But I guess you could have just took the Yuumi and then take the Poppy, right? And then have your Sivir later on. It's not like they're going to pinch Sivir.
Exactly, that's kind of where my head was at, and it just seems a bit of an odd one here. But it looks like FPX are kind of saying, hey, I mean, we'll take the Wukong. Is View comfortable playing the Poppy? I mean, Poppy is a great answer towards Wukong. Also, just against things like Zeri, who's incredibly short range, likes to use her E to kind of dash around and get a whole bunch of repositions off. So I definitely, like, Poppy does well there as well. So will just be the case here for WE. And now we'll have to see how View's going to feel when he's got his hands on the Poppy and going up against Clid. But actually, no, last second change here.
Yeah, Vi coming on through. Crucially, View did play Poppy in the recent series against BLG, and I'm going to be totally honest, it didn't look good. So
so the words that Munch said to me afterwards was that View made Poppy look balanced, which is my favorite way to describe how that game went.
Listen, that was a private message. That wasn't meant to be said on broadcast. But I won't deny it was true. Yeah. I'm not too upset that he's not played Poppy. Maybe 5 will look a little bit better for him. Yeah. Zoe banned away here from Care as we move swiftly on with the conversation. Over to FPX for the bad phase.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to get... Well, FPX focusing on top side because someone will have to blind pick. So trying to set himself up for something comfortable. Potentially an R pick here, if WE don't ban it away. Whereas WE are continuing to focus on the mid lane because it looks like what they'll do is get Shanks to immediately go towards something like the Talia that has been left open in the mid lane, and then see if they can get that counter pick for Demon in that top side. Well, I was actually curious if we get the Rise ban here, but maybe they're looking at something a little bit different because that Galio seems a bit suspect to me.
Yeah, Galio ban. I guess Care was a big Galio player, right? We have seen a bunch of Galio from Care historically, but I mean, it's not exactly been a priority pick for FPX in recent series. Silas already taken off the board though, Ahri taken off the board. It's kind of forcing him into like either Talia or Swain, or I guess maybe LeBlanc is banned away. I think it's like a Kali maybe, Lissandra.
Yeah, that's where I'm just kind of curious as to exactly what the plan is, because like I feel like when you have Galio banned, like you want to, okay, they're actually going to go towards Talia, because I was going to say like the Talia can struggle against things like the Rise, which Gare has been able to bring up before. It doesn't really struggle against Galio, because like Galio again is like massively telegraphed on if he's trying to go in, so you're able to throw down the Unraveled Earth very, very easily and just keep him in order. So a bit of a strange one, but yeah, looks like Care will go back towards the Rise here into that Lissandra, and then I think Gnar works out well here for FPX on that top side. Looks like they're actually just going to take it first here as they buy a bit more time to think about mid lane.
Yep, Gnar being the comfort pick for Summit across the course of this split. Double the games of any other pick for him as they'll lock in the Gnar once again. Care can pretty much go for what he likes. We saw the Rise being hovered to Leah. These would just match the roaming available from Shanks. Or you can just go for something like Victor, which is, you know, able to clear the waves, able to do a lot during those team fights later on as well. But plenty of options for FPX despite the bans coming on out from WE. And it will, in fact, be the Swain locked in for Care.
So I actually like this. I think when you look at WE, like very short range composition, all want to be up in your face. So having a bit more of a bruiser or AP bruiser mid lane, it's going to work out pretty well. It means that the only person that Kong really needs to worry about with the likes of the heals, the shields, and the wild growth is going to be this Zeri, and try and keep her safe whenever View tries to have that cease and desist on top of her. So overall, FPX very beefy, very team fight orientated composition that will spike massively in the mid game off of 2 items, especially for the likes of Care in that mid lane. Whereas WE, a little bit more options, like they can try and play off towards side lanes. They have decent team fight as well. It's just a case of how well, again, they can try and play through this mid jungle, because that's the question mark for me. Like, Vi and Lissandra, great dive buddies, great gank buddies, but we got to see if they're going to be able to make it work.
Yeah, I have just noticed, Dagda, that WE's coach has a WE pin on his jacket. It's actually upside down currently. And I feel like that is pretty much the perfect metaphor for how this split has gone for WE. I'm being fairly negative towards WE, but you know what? They are 0-14.
I mean,
and it's not looking like it's changing anytime soon.
That's the thing. Like, there comes a point where you're like, you keep fishing, and it's been 10 weeks at this stage. We've fished, we've tried everything to find something about WE, but this has just not been their split. This has just not been a good time, and there's no point in trying to like smooth it over anymore. They're on their way to match one of the worst loss record that we have in the LPL, which is set by V5 twice, back with the 0-16. Now, again, they have a little bit more game wins, so technically they are better. They haven't quite managed to hit that same level, but
there's that silver lining we will.
But that's the thing. Do you really want your split defined by a technicality?
Not
Personally,
quite
I
the
wouldn't.
worst of all time. That's a hell of an accolade. I will say the difference is that V5 roster had Mole on it playing Nico AD carry and Nico top and Nico jungle and Nico support. So,
yeah,
you know, I could vibe with that a little bit more. Anyway, FPX, they are playing well. They are being aggressive. They are making things happen. And they are going for some early cheese here up in the top side. Demon going to move into the river. And he'll be fine. He'll spot out Summit. He didn't spot Clid, I don't think. But Clid's just going to go for a reset.
Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't be able to get the kill really on Demon, and Demon isn't exactly going to leap onto Summit and try and, like, very quickly trade out. He'll try and start with the Counter-Strike for lane, so both members just going to kind of watch each other as they go about the business. Demon looks like he's going to move in to get a ward. Should be able to just spot out then what's the path is for Clid, whereas at least View does get to start out, well, I was going to say, with a little bit less info given across, but looks like Kara is going to do exactly that.
Yep, so mutual wards on the top side of the map. And you can see Shanks will know that Kare's done exactly that as he walks back over. So View on a ward here, whereas Clid, at least for the time being, won't be spotted, but the fact that he's not starting on his blue buff will obviously be known. And he is on the Wukong, so generally speaking, quite happy to go for the multi-minion camps, as it were.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how the jungle matchup pans out and which direction these two junglers will go, because on things like a fire, you can get a little bit cheesy.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get too much cheese in the early stages, though, from View. Just because at least you want to have Shanks hit the level 3, so you probably want to do a 3 camp start anyway to try and match that. Also, generally when Vi is clearing, she wants to start with the Daunting Blows, the W, so then she can at least get the max health damage off. Then her E, so she can get the shield and keep herself nice and topped up. And also, again, like, reapplying that W, getting as many of those procs off. And then moving over to her Q, so then she can actually have gank pressure. So, definitely think we'll see at least View take a little bit of time, but maybe he is going for some sort of play in this top side, at least judging from Demon's health bar.
Yeah, that was getting a little too close for comfort. Flash is still available, but look at Demon's health right here. Summit now with the range advantage again, but does need to be cautious, because as many are, if you do step too far forward, Jax will all in and finish you off. View moving in, no ward here. Demon forces the hop out from Summit. Looking for the counter-strike, but Summit pre-flashes that, knowing exactly what was going on.
Yeah, don't know if he actually spotted Vi there, but definitely had an inkling that there was something a bit astray going ahead, so we'll just back away. Now it looks like he's going to get the reset in. Anyway, Clid on this top side as well means that he will get the Scuttle Crab, but you can see View, like, this is where, because Clid has just been clearing the whole way through the jungle, he's in a bit of a better spot, whereas View has to go for the quick reset, will only be able to pick up a longsword, and now has to clear its entire bot side, and also that Scuttle Crab to try and match up to where Clid is.
Yeah, got a lot to clear here, and as you say, I'm not sure if they actually saw him up on the top side, but regardless, has a lot of work to do. Clid just moving straight down towards the bottom side, though. Yeah. Maybe he wants to contest for the crab, but he's going to be too late for that one. There's a ward dropped by View as well. I think Clid's just going to end up going for his Krugs in the end.
Yeah, trying to spot out exactly where this Vi is, so we'll see her on the blue. Care had control over mid lane, and that actually forced Shanks out of that mid lane, so that's why Clid was like, okay, maybe we can try and force something towards this scuttle if you hadn't moved in immediately to river, but as you say, we'll now just move over, clear out the Krugs on the bottom side, reset, and probably look for some sort of play on top side with his camp spawning up there, because realistically, no flash on Demon. You have someone who can always help to close the gap there as well. So maybe we get some sort of play on towards Demon.
It's very possible, especially with how much Summit dominated that top lane in game number 1, right? Like, if I'm Clid coming into this game, I just want to get Summit going again. I just want to get this guy set up because that was just decimation before. And if you can, especially in a ranged versus melee matchup, if you get the Summit a nice big lead for himself, he's just going to take over the game. So feels like a good opportunity for Clid. View moving up once again. Remember, no flash on either side of that top lane. And they both have a timer very conveniently because they both flashed at the same time. As Summit, actually going to go for a face check here. But View backed away at this point. Summit, you've got to be a little cautious on this one. But View, only level 4, doesn't have that ultimate. So Summit will be safe.
Nice job from View, though, because if you actually look at the path in from Clid, Clid had cleared out his entire bot side, it reset, got the Caulfield's Warhammer, and now was moving back up towards this top side. And as you can see with where the waves positioned there for Demon, it would have slow pushed in towards Summit. So View getting that nice bit of chip damage onto Summit means that Summit can't really be here to try and help set up for the next play that was Clid moving up to try and make that gank happen on top side. So at least the moment, Demon should be able to shove in this wave and keep himself relatively safe without having to worry too much about Summit and Clid making something happen.
Yeah, let's see if they can find any opportunities here. View's trying to move in. Clid is there. Summit is there. We were hoping we wouldn't have to worry about Summit and Clid making things happen. Well, Shanks is here to stop them. There's a nice little first blood for WE. A good start to things, and Summit going to look for some honey fruit alongside Care. Surprised WE don't look for more on this one, honestly.
I mean, they got what they came for, right? They got the wave pushed in topside. The view is very low. Don't want to try and over push it when they already have the advantage they want. So nice job. Again, View reading what Clid wanted to do super well and turning that one around with the help of Shanks. So much better start for WE coming into this game than we had from the last one.
Yeah. Nice start. Nice start here from WE. And View with this aggressive jungler, right? Working out. So nice little change of pace from WE. Shanks as well, with a tool that he can really set the game upon, right? A pick that he can roam very aggressively. And, you know, Shanks looked pretty good on the rise in game number 1 as well. Shanks has certainly not been a problem for WE across the course of this split. And, you know, when you think about when Shanks joined this team, hang on. Oh, Summit is trying to get real aggressive in this top side. Demon's going to be slowed down. The Counter-Strike will buy him a second here, but Summit can keep this going. The gravy train has well and truly left the station in the top side.
Great visions of the Empire there from Care as well, knowing that there was no leap, no flash on Demon. So again, Summit getting a lot of attention from Clid, and this time it's paying off. Might be able to get a good amount of control up here on this top side as well, especially as you're looking at Rift Herald in 40 seconds. FPX trying to get as much damage as possible onto View before they clear on out of here.
Yeah, and View at least he'll get some minions for himself, so a consolation prize in this top side for WE, but Demon going to start to fall behind. That's a 10 CS lead in favor of Summit. And this is one of those matchups as well where, as Gnar gets a bit of range, if Jax doesn't play it well, it gets pretty brutal. Especially
if the Summit is getting these early leads. Like, having those early boots means he gets to kind of play at range a little bit easier, try to outpace Demon. You're looking at the ability to start setting up for the Triforce as well. And if you just outpace Demon to so many of these different items, it's just going to become impossible for Demon to play. The good news, at least for WE, is that because View is picking up these this CS and these creeps, he actually has a slight advantage over Clid when it comes to experience, and if he can try and bring that to the rest of the map, it could work out. But I mean, Clid just finishes off his rep up there, which will give him level 6, so will be everyone across the board here on the top side of the map on both sides having access to those ultimates. Yeah, which is kind of an explosive moment in the game, and I'm hoping from WE that will lead to something explosive from them, right? With Shanks
one of the most powerful level 6s in the entire game in my mind, where when you're playing for picks alongside a Vi, you can certainly set things up. CC chain for days here in the mid lane. Care taken out here. The ignite is enough. And nicely done here from the side of WE.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Look for the pick and immediately WE are able to find that. Care doesn't have the sustain that it needs, and with the burn coming through from View's smite, will just be enough damage to finish everything off. So nice job coming through there for WE to find that pick, find themselves those advantages, and get themselves the Rift Herald.
Yeah, good little start here for WE. And once again, it's View and Shanks. This pairing doing a real good job in the early game to find themselves a significant advantage there. In terms of the total gold, it's only 300 in their favor. But in terms of the jungle and mid difference, it's very heavily favored for this side of WE. A good little start for them, and now we need to see them roaming around the map a bit and starting to spread that gold lead elsewhere.
Yeah, the problem though is that Wukong is heavily favored, and it looks like with that he's actually able to push View off of this Rift Herald on the top side. So not having that control in the top lane now coming back to bite WE has
not again. Demon flashes under his tower. Oh my god, he actually survived. I thought, I'm not going to lie, I didn't think it was a good flash, but then I was proven wrong. Demon does get slowed, though, and there's nothing left in the tank. It's a good counter-strike, but the jungle's here from FPX. A valiant effort from Demon. He almost lives the dive.
Care. I don't know if you want to be there. Shanks' ultimate is nearly up and available, and looks like they want to try and move down towards this bot side as WE may be looking for a dive, but Shanks, with Care having push in mid, decides not to follow on the play, so everyone will just back away. So WE again kind of missing out on that counter punch like we saw in game 1, just not willing to pull the trigger, and FPX get away with that play in the top side, and there's a Rift Herald here as well.
Yeah, this is going to be a full tower. This is going to be massive amounts of gold into the pocket of Summit, and once again, look at the CS difference in that top lane. Both games, it has gone massively in favor of Summit here. And I don't think that story's going to change anytime soon. A rough series for Demon. And this time around, we're very much seeing Clid do what we've seen from FPX across the course of the last few series, right? Which is focus on this top side, trying to get Summit ahead.
I mean, look, it worked out in game 1. Not to see if it works out in game 2, because certainly Gnar is no pushover when he does get gold. Like a quick drive force, Randuin's Omen means that people like Xing aren't going to be able to do much against some Demon as well. Won't be able to really touch him, and then he can start to chip away at these structures as well. It's going to be massive in these team fights, especially with the amount of setup that FPX have, right? Like the Cyclone, even a Wild Growth, if they have a lead to like provide CC that lets Summit find these big Gnar ultimates. So looks like, at least for FPX, they've already set their course for this top side of the map once more, as at least Clid is again kind of hovering up here, but now I want to see them trying to swap down this pressure in towards things like Dragon in 3 minutes time, start to create more moments on the map where they can find these fights and use Summit's lead.
Yeah, that's going to be crucial, is trying to take control of those Dragons, especially when WE got the first one, right? FPX don't want to allow that to be a win condition that can snowball. They can just look up towards this top lane win condition that can snowball, though, because Demon is about to be slammed against the wall. No flash available, and Summit is just making this look easy.
Another solo kill for Summit in both games now of the series so far, and Summit's looking pretty damn clean. We said, look, once you start to get a lead as this Gnar, it's very easy for you to start to follow up on it. Once the slow lands, Demon is completely done for, and Summit just carries him down. But again, WE not in a position to try and answer anywhere else in the map, and you don't even get to, because those solo bolos mean that you're always at a numbers at even Steven spot as well.
I thought he was going to get claw doomed there by Shanks, but looks like View and Kedaya playing this one a little slower for now, moving towards the bottom side of the map. Weren't actually spotted here. Is Lwx alone under his tower, but View's nearby, as is Hung. And I'm not sure WE are going to be willing to commit to a dive on this one. So 2 plates taken already by WE in that bottom side. You can see that reflected in Xing's items, right, with that Kraken Slayer. But WE deciding they don't want to go too aggressive on this one. They don't really want to take an even fight if they can help it.
Especially when you have TP available for that Gnar on the top side. But we're actually just going to get a replay here. I mean, we saw the entire thing. I don't think ProView really changes how this looks. I'm not gonna lie.
Gnar isn't the most mechanically intensive champion in the game, let's be honest.
IQ, I pick it up. IQ,
but he
I
pinged
pick
that
it
he
up.
was going back to the top wave, so good
Okay.
communication there from Summit to the rest of his team. Also communicating, I'm going to body this kid once again. Yeah, a little bit terrifying in the top side is Summit. 20 CS lead for himself as well.
Yeah.
And
the worst part is, that was the counter pick for Demon. This is supposed to be the matchup Demon's comfortable in, and
Summit showing that he's not quite 0-3 on the Jacks. Summit once more has a bunch of wards up here to keep himself safe, and now you have a serious problem for WE's side. Like, the rest of the map going relatively okay, right? Like, nothing is kind of too untoward has gone astray. But for Summit, with this Triforce now completed, he'll be able to demolish these turrets in the top side. And when things like Dragon are up in 30 seconds, I mean, our FPX look like they're actually just going to invade onto this top side and use Summit's advantage. But I'd rather see them actually moving into to try and contest this next Dragon.
I will say, while Summit is 2-0-1 and 30 CS up, he did just miss a cannon, which I haven't seen Demon miss any cannons this game. So, who's the real winner here? Shanks is apparently, as the final chapter comes out, Care forced to use his stopwatch very early. Good little sideways splash here, but immediately Clid locked up. This is a 2v4, and FPX are holding on as Lwx flies in the side of the play. I can't believe FPX actually come out on top of that.
Now, Care able to stay alive for so long. The AoE healing doing so much to keep Care alive, especially after that burst damage had come out. The stopwatch letting Care buy that time that he needed. And now FPX, we said it, like Summit left on these turrets on the top side. Well, Summit's just going to start wailing away on this one as well.
Yeah, this feels like, honestly, FPX are just outclassed here. It's as simple as that in my mind. Like, I don't want to be dishonest. I don't want to sugarcoat it any more than it needs to be. WE trying to make this play, trying to pick off Care, but just the power of the Swain. You use the ulti, you turn into the stopwatch. He's still full HP. Because then Clid buys time.
And this is such, again, as we said, like a crucial win here for FPX. Like, getting their double win here will put them at -2 in the game difference. Let them leapfrog people like BLG. Put them ever so slightly ahead of anyone's legend as well. So AL then have to pick up some of this victory against top esports if they hope to try and surpass them. So it's such a crucial win for trying to get FPX into that playoff spot.
Yeah, a really, really important series for FPX. And crucially, if you think back to the schedule that FPX had this split, like, it started really hard. This was a team that had a super tough schedule to kick things off. And we kind of, halfway through the split, got cautiously optimistic that they could come back because of that schedule and because they started to go on a bit of a win streak. And it feels like now they're being rewarded, right? They took all of the hard teams at the start of the split, and it means that they get to finish their split with a matchup like WE. They get to get one of these wins on the board that the rest of the league got earlier on in the season. So it's nice to see FPX, you know, winning with style in a matchup like this as well, looking confident, because realistically, FPX with a 2-0 here is a team that are fairly likely to make it to playoffs. And so it's good to see them playing with the cleanliness that they are playing today.
Especially when you're looking at, as like Summit said in the interview today, look, I just haven't really felt like I got to prep properly for this split. Especially because he only came over halfway through. The number of changes that have come through in the split as well have made it really tough for players to get used to. So the fact that you kind of got these kind of easier times for FPX now that they've got their proper roster in place lets them try and figure out how they want to play. Like, lets Summit kind of flex his muscles on towards people like Demon in the top side so he can gain that confidence, build what they need going into playoffs. Because, I mean, this victory here could be like the difference for them making it in towards playoffs. Like, it feels like this 2-0 nearly guarantees them that spot.
Shanks trying to escape here on the bottom side as Summit is just a monster. That was through exhaust. Half of Shanks' HP gone through exhaust. Just blowing his Summoner literally by turning up. Summit is an absolute beast in the server right now, denying the recall from Shanks as the rest of the team moves over, but you can see View is there as well. So I think Shanks should survive at very least.
Now, look, that's okay. Don't forget, Exhaust was nerfed from 40% reduced damage to 35%. So really, Shanks is just being bullied by the Exhaust. You know, that's it.
I see. Yeah. So could have been worse. Could have been better. I think is our ultimate conclusion. It's one of those things where it's like, you know what? If oh, hang on, we've got a pick. That's Summit caught out the side, and a shutdown for View. WE are back in the running for playoffs. Oh wait, no.
Look, might have got a little bit ahead of yourself there, but I mean, good pick. Now turret gold. Got that shutdown, 550 gold going over towards View off the kill, and that 250 shutdown as well. So at least you are getting some gold back in towards the Vi, and I think the Vi, like when she gets towards this Frozen Fist, could actually do a good amount of damage in this, but we'll have to see. It's actually, sorry, Iceborne Gauntlet, Frozen Fist. Yeah, I definitely think that maybe if you and Shanks can continue to play this pick style, they catch FPX when they're on a bit of a lull. Maybe they can make it happen, but it does look very unlikely. Again, a minute till Dragon. You got 2 items already in your Zeri. Care going to be very quickly working up towards his Royal Ace Crystal Scepter. And look, again, nice pick. Someone doesn't really realize he's in trouble, but... Oh, he actually... I mean...
Saw them.
Yeah. Alright, so he probably should have tried to get out of there.
Yeah, a little disrespectful. Thought he could just finish the recall off. Obviously didn't realize that they were sweeping and they would spot him out and just go for the CC. You're against the Lissandra at the end of the day. She's going to CC you.
I love the way we've had 2 pro views of someone basically doing nothing. like, that was a pro view. Not even of the people attempting to kill someone. Of someone just window shopping. like,
someone going, you know what? I can finish this recall. I mean, look, it makes him relatable as a player, right? Because I've made many of those recalls in my time, and I feel like those recalls are the ultimate like confirmation bias in League of Legends, because you get them off like once or twice and you're like, nailed it. I calculated that perfectly. And then you always try it again and you always get caught. And I feel like it's one of those ones where, hang on, Care is not in trouble. I guess he's fine. Yeah, I thought he was going to get aggressive, funnel them all there. He's going to Lulu with him, I suppose. But in the meantime, 2 towers got down at the bottom side and a Drake for FPX. They're just sweeping up.
Yeah, I feel like that was a lot used by WE mid lane for something that was never, ever going to work. Care had Zhonya's, Wild Growth, the ultimate from Care as well, Shields, Whimsy. Care now doesn't have that.
He does have his Zhonya's, and he does have his ultimate. Can he get out with his life? No, is the answer. Just locked up. I will say, this Lissandra Vi combo, pretty hard to deal with. Like, the amount of CC that this pairing has, and Vi brings a lot of damage as well to the table. So it's actually working out pretty nicely. Like, if you just look in isolation at View and Shanks with a Sivir and a Yuumi in the bottom side, this game's looking pretty great for WE. Unfortunately, there is a top lane as well. That's the only issue.
That was some incredible copium. I love it. That was amazing. But
like, if you just cover, if you put your hand on the screen, just cover the Jax and the Gnar.
Yeah,
it's looking pretty good actually, and also cover the top part of the scoreboard as well.
Yeah,
where the dragons and the gold lead are.
And also just cover the top half of the map where, you know, FPX are starting to get a ton of control. Yeah. And I'm going to just start looking for picks. Going to start seeing if they can turn this pressure from Vi and Shanks back around. Because Care, I was surprised that he didn't try and use the ultimate in that last one. But it does feel like FPX have an idea of a fight they want to set up, and this might be it.
Yeah, that's going to be the on the hunt used once again by Xing. Yeah. That's twice in a row where he used it towards this mid-tier 1 Demon. Getting his Demolish Prot onto the tower, but now Care wants a bit of revenge. Demon caught out by the team here, slowed on up. The final chapter used to zone. Care really wants this, but he just can't quite grab anyone.
No, Demon just about able to skirt away from that one, but again, it will be FPX getting control over WE's jungle once more. Waves and side lanes have kind of been abandoned in this one, though, as WE just keep trying to just brute force their way into the mid lane turret, and FPX are like, all right, I guess we got to try and respond to this now.
Yeah, it's a bit of an A-ramp. Bit of an A-ramp coming out at this point. Drake not up for another 3 minutes. Maybe that's the opportunity for WE. Maybe you can get a 5v5 if Drake is on up. Like, you try to just 5v5 in the mid lane. That's not really going to work. But maybe when Drake's up, that could be the option. 3 items is going to be the mark, though, for both of our AD carries. Summit in a 2v1 right here. Maybe he can win it. He's kind of huge at this point, but so is Shanks with the Leandries as well. And there's a flash forced out. So Summit being punished for playing too aggressive.
I mean, if you're drawing 2 people over towards this side lane, though, it does open up FPX to get a little bit more control on the rest of the map. Like, you can see there's a fairly sizable wave pushed in on that top side, and they're going to be able to shove in mid here as well. And with that wave top, they can either, you know, get control over the top side of this jungle here, which is where Clid's moving to, put some pressure onto this very low health mid turret, or even just move up and catch that wave in top and see if they can maybe get a pick onto Shanks, who has to try and clear that wave.
Yeah, Shanks could be a good target for them. The problem is it's Lissandra. Lissandra is quite often hard to pick off and separate. You just have so much immunity. With the stopwatch, with the Lissandra ult, but then obviously the Claw of Doom as well keeps you incredibly safe. I will say, 3 items finished off for Xing at this point. Not going for the Infinity Edge, though. Going for the Phantom Dancer and that Lord Doms as well. But still not actually finishing his boots here. Just wanted to get those big crit items done.
Yeah, I think he was believing that you'd end up with Summit going for... Hang on. It's care. We'll find you, but... the very early Randuin's Omen, so it was like, alright, I need to pick up this early LDR, but not really having much tanky stats coming through at the moment on either top or jungle.
FPX really want this tier 1 tower. They will not let it go down. Everyone just blasting their ults out. Perhaps an opportunity for WE. Honestly, Lwx caught out cleanses to try and escape with himself. Over the wall he goes, but chased down by View. The rest of FPX sort of falling apart as Lwx does get out with his life. It's a 1-for-0, though, and WE do find themselves a fight.
Yeah, you're still waiting on Summit to hit Mega Gnar, though he has that, doesn't have flash, but still has his ult available, but it may not matter.
There's a stun, there's a Mega Gnar into the wall. Laser not available, there it comes out! Oh, Shanks! 1 HP! Will get out with his life, but my goodness, that was tight.
Yeah, you can see the damage Summit has available with this Black Cleaver build. Slams them into the wall, but not quite able to finish them off. Unfortunate there, FPX not able to turn around, but 30 seconds until Dragon.
20 HP.
You're going to have Clid back into a position that he needs to be. I mean, this is where FPX can still look for this next Dragon. And we'll see it here, right? Demon again, trying to link up, use that Demolish proc, use the Divine Sunder hits. And everything blown early, as you said. Like, Clid doesn't get anyone with the initial Cyclone. Care has no ultimate now. Summit nowhere near to Mega Gnar, which is why W are like, cool. I mean, everyone's grouped up. Let's go for it. Lwx does a fantastic job of getting away here, thanks to Hung's wild growth, CCing Shanks. But we're back into the mix.
Back in the mix indeed. Demon in trouble here. One more. Auto does get it with the Hyper. And now Summit turns Mega as well. And what was a close fight in the last one is going to be a bloodbath. But Xing still going strong. He's got a Yuumi as well. Oh my god, is this the end of FPX? Double kill comes through for Xing. No flash though. Can't catch up to them. It looked like that was the play of his career, but just has to go mid instead.
Still though, great stuff from the WE80 carry. Will set FPX on the back foot, although as I say that, FPX still considering going over towards this Dragon. You still have Xing in the area, but I don't think he realizes that low health FPX members are still here.
Oh, pulled in. Summit's on top of the plate as well. Xing is down. And FPX playing this beautifully. A double kill for Summit. He wants himself a double MVP here. 5-1 and 3 on the Gnar. And Xing playing the last fight beautifully, but getting caught with his trousers down.
And because you've got long death timers now on the AD carrying the support, there's always the potential for FPX to move over towards this Baron area, but we'll see here, much better use of the ultimates here. Summit has the Mega Gnar available, catches Shanks, makes sure that he's, just as he's getting CC, actually has the wallop animation started. So gets the double lockup of View and Shanks, and from that point with the Ultra Shock Laser from Lwx, they were to finish them off, but Xing made this close. Like, this could have been significantly worse. But we're at the Baron like we talked about.
View is knocked up. View is taken down. View is out of the equation. And you just mentioned we're at Baron. Jungle are dead for 40 seconds. That is bad news bears for WE. They need to make a miracle happen now. Shanks over the wall has his ultimate available. Lissandra can be huge in these kinds of fights, and FPX still setting it up, but look at Summit. He's flanked the enemy team. He's about to turn into Mega Gnar as well.
Boy.
This is bad news for WE, and they can't even escape. Mega Gnar wasn't even needed as Shanks is taken down.
Yeah, Shanks would give his life with the Ring of Frost to save the team, but I mean, WE, they shouldn't have been there. I mean, for someone called View, he really needed to look at the death timers that were on Xing and Kedaya, because they were not going to be around for a long old time. And it meant that he just gets caught out in River completely by himself. Demon now will try and get something back on this bot side. Maybe we'll get bot Terror, though, with that Demolish proc gone. And now Summit rocking up. Doesn't look like he'll be able to get it.
Yeah, doesn't look like it, at least for the time being. Maybe he'll get an opportunity later, but I'm not so sure, I'll be honest. It's FPX now with the Baron. It's only going to get worse. It's 3 items Zeri, headed towards a 4th as well. And WE need to book up their ideas if they want to get a game on the board here. It's a 6,000 gold lead for FPX.
Why was View there? Like,
just for the bans, you know?
I understand, like, it was actually, like, he was there for, like, Scuttle. Like, why are you giving away Baron for Scuttle? I don't know, man. This
it's not the first time View has died for a Scuttle this series. View loves a little crab. Loves a crab. Can't blame him. They are delicious, I will say.
A bit of garlic butter. Oh.
I went to the something boiled crab, I think it was, in America. Amazing food.
Red Lobster?
No. It was like, I don't know what it was called. But basically, they gave you a plastic bag, and you chose what food you wanted and what spice level you wanted. And basically, everything came in this big see-through plastic bag. And just in a ton of sauce. You just like mix it up like crazy. And you get these like rubber gloves and you get a little bib and you just go to town on it. It's like manners go out of the window. Just deliciousness is allowed in here. It was glorious. Loved every second of that place.
I need it. That sounds incredible. What also looks great right now is Summit sliding his way onto this bot side. Easy inhibitor. WE now kind of realize the bot side exists, and they will look for Clid.
Clid just going to zip on out, turns invisible, and escapes. Summit underneath the tower here as well. Hops away, but actually he's going to get chased down. Flashes away. Oh, Demon's too late on his flash, and he can't finish the job. As FPX, in the meantime, blow this base open. No way does Summit actually get away with this on the hop as well. Demon, he just doesn't have any hands left. He's run out.
He has no damage. He's got no anything to finish that off. And now FPX, they're in the base. Summit's reset, the TP in, the 2-0 FPX. This may lock them playoffs.
It might just do that. It's still, we need some more results to confirm it. But man, Dagda, get me out of this game. Get me out of this series because this has been just brutal to witness. Nexus Bear, Summit just padded the stats. 5-1-5, 4-1-4 for LWX as well. A beautiful game here for FPX. And WE, that's 2 strikes.
And with that, FPX will go to 7-9, a -2 in game score, which means they will move up ahead of AL into 9th place at the moment. And when BLG have already finished their games, you've got TT that still have some left to play. Anyone's Legend have to beat top esports now to overtake them. That could be the game that solidifies FPX playoffs.
Dagda, do you know what I've just realized? I've just figured something out with this. Kind of a game changer, I'll be honest.
Is it to do with crab?
It's nothing to do with crabs. It's to do with the LPL, believe it or not. Like, I'm actually doing my job right now. After the game ended, the production team in China put the camera on Summit. Now, it might just be that the Chinese commentators are talking about Summit, but I think Summit's going to get MVP. And it could be a sneaky little indicator of who gets MVP, whoever the camera is on, when you leave the game. Who's the one person that they single out? This time it was Summit. If Summit's MVP, we might be onto something here.
I don't know how true that is, because I feel like you have to, they take the votes of the commentators, right? Like, while the game's going on, which is why we cut to a break and then we do MVP, well, generally, and then like they have a break and they give MVP, but I don't know. I could be wrong with that. Maybe you're onto something. I mean, I think this one might be a little bit more coincidence than anything else, because Summit did slap people around the map. And then,
That's true.
like, if you're looking at, like, obvious MVPs, it's like Summit, all right? So I think this one might be a bit more of a, hey, cameraman, even he didn't need great analysis to realize Summit did good things this game. But, yeah. We'll see as it goes on.
Maybe. Or maybe I'm a genius, eh? Have you ever considered that, Rob? You ever considered that?
I briefly did, and then I met you and lived with you for a long time. So you know that kind of.
If I wasn't paid to be here right now, I would have left the Discord call. But regrettably, this is my job, so I guess I'll stay. Domination from FPX, I think, is our ultimate conclusion. Domination and hurt pride, both for me and for WE, on the back of this game. I will say, so FPX now 7-9, crucially got the 2-0 that they needed, that we talked about at the start of the day, and now they're in a position where they'll have a -2 game difference. So they are not guaranteed playoffs just yet, but they're in a really good spot. They're ahead of BLG, they're ahead of TT, who obviously if TT just lose one of their series, TT are pretty much out of the running. But as of right now, FPX will finish above Billy Billy.
Which is amazing for FPX. Like, the fact that they've been able to get themselves maybe just across the finish line here is going to be exactly what they need. The 2-0 looking easy and clean. And especially for a team that has, like, players like Lwx hung with a fantastic year, Summit and Clid coming across from the LCK as well. This was definitely a team that on paper you expected to hit playoffs. So the fact that they might have just about managed to eke themselves in is going to be in a good spot. And I mean, when you look at a lot of the teams that are in their initial few rounds of playoffs as well, I mean, FPX could definitely be the team that ends up pushing further into that playoff contention.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like FPX and TT are the